Hello,
And,
fuck cape shit. Welcome
and
to
go.
Shittywebcomics Weekly again,
And go.
and go. Um,
The
uh,
one we left off on was the turnout you were working for the bad guys all along, I think.
yeah, but this video, as usual, brought to you by our subscribe star backers. Check that out below. Donate money to us because you get a bunch of videos, but also because we'll tell you the things that everyone else is afraid to tell you. Even some of your favorite YouTubers are afraid to talk about what we talk about. And a lot of
Even
those
Joe
videos are
Rogan.
behind the fucking paywall.
We're more courageous than Joe Rogan.
Yeah, well, that's not hard necessarily. But anyways, yeah, the so continuing off with V Comics from last week. This one turns out you're working for the bad guys all along. Great, which is kind of a reference to Deus Ex, which was kind of a good twist in that. But also, this is a GIF, and it's funny because it's like it thinks it has to animate or something. Back then, people saved stuff as a GIF if it was low on colors because that would make the file size smaller.
Yeah, I don't think there were. I don't think there even were PNGs, or
Well,
if
there were
there were,
PNGs. There were PNGs, but it's like it wasn't. It didn't really work quite as well, and they were still considered a little too big sometimes. GIF was just considered the fuck, and it is not pronounced GIF, by the way. But anyways,
it is pronounced GIF.
yes. Anyways, here's just another comic that has the villain. It's the Abbey Road, but it's villains from games like fucking. Although the Arbiter wasn't really a villain, but whatever. And then there's fucking Metal Gear is walking there. It's just you were just looking through random shit and just posting it.
Yeah, just anything that looked interesting.
This one's funny. If you're still playing Sega, NEC, or Nintendo, you're nothing but a weenie. If you're playing the incredibly high-powered Neo Geo system, you're a real hot dog. Tough talk, but think it over. Why fool with limp, underpowered 16-bit systems when Neo Geo? And I never knew anyone who had a Neo Geo, by the way.
No, no, we didn't know anyone who did.
Now, I don't know if the Neo Geo console actually had Metal Slug on it, but the Metal Slug games kind of would be worth it. Except I think the Neo Geo was like $900 or some ridiculous shit like that. And the
Something
Super
like that.
Nintendo was fucking Super Nintendo is probably one of the best consoles in history.
330 meg hardware setup. I mean, they're not saying what
Ooh.
330 megs
Of
of what, I
what?
don't know, but I do
Yes.
remember seeing like the occasional, I don't know, it was like a TV commercial or something. Somebody actually posted
Yeah.
like or it was like a little bit of video from like some R type game or
Yeah, it
some
would look pretty sweet.
Gradius that was on either Neo Geo or TurboGrafx 16.
It says 6500 or 65,000 vivid colors. That's 32-bit basically. So the PlayStation eventually was able to outpower this.
Although this was situated more around 2D stuff
Mhm.
instead of trying to make everything 3D.
Yeah, this was early 90s. It was
I know
before
the stuff
3D
looks
was
good.
even really that much of a concept in video games. I mean,
Does a
it did
Ferrari
exist.
cost more than a Yugo? Does prime rib cost more than squirrel burgers?
With Neo Geo. Here's the thing: Neo Geo could kind of fucking actually put up that kind of talk because it was true that it was more powerful. The thing is that what games did they really have that were that good? And the controllers are like the NES Advantage, which is like big like
Oh, yeah.
stick controllers.
You can
Whereas
actually see it here. They're the size of the
yeah,
console itself. It's like,
yes.
what?
And
Why?
again, the Super Nintendo was redesigning controllers to be way more comfortable, way more ergonomic and sensible. They had shoulder buttons. They were just
Not to
fucking
mention,
better.
it had like Final Fantasy VI and fucking Yoshi's Island,
Yeah, it had all sorts of shit. It had
fucking
Mario
just
World. It had fucking Chrono Trigger. It had,
Zelda 3,
yeah, fucking,
Contra 3. Just if you go by the games that weren't
yeah.
Nintendo specific properties, Contra 3, kind of a big deal.
It's
I
kind
don't
of a
even
big
think it
deal.
had an arcade version.
And there was like Legend of the Mystical Ninja, which was not called anything else ever in any
That wasn't
country.
even that was not even a good game. Or it was a good
It
game. It
was a
wasn't
great
a
game
fucking game.
with a big part of a shitty game grafted onto it. The
Draft
first
Dodger
half of the
Nick.
game is fucking fantastic. The
Yeah.
last half of the game is garbage.
Secret of Mana, Final Fantasy 4,
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 6.
or Final Fantasy 2 and Final Fantasy 3 as they're
As it says
actually
on
called.
the cartridge.
That's what it says on the cart. That's what they're really
What it
called.
says on the front of the box.
But then Cybernator, Kirby Superstar was actually a fucking great game. You can kiss guys in that.
Nintendo?
Those were on the Super Nintendo.
I'm trying to consider stuff that isn't a Nintendo property. Shadowrun.
Oh yeah, the Shadowrun for the Super Nintendo was a fucking really cool game. Good story.
Yeah.
One of the first like really good stories I've ever played, aside from
Yeah.
maybe Chrysalis, which was a little bare bones still.
Yeah, and that was also NES. But
I
that
just
was
remember being
SNK.
blown away when you go into that one, the mountain town with the snow and stuff, and everyone's dead, and it's like, holy shit, this is
Mhm.
crazy. I was
Things
like
are
fucking 9 at the time.
Yeah, this is incredible.
I'm 9, and what is this? But
I'm
still,
9, and what is this?
yeah.
Star Fox, well, that's Nintendo also, but fucking the first Star Fox game,
But
holy
yeah,
shit.
all the Nintendo properties are fucking fantastic. But anyways,
Yeah, I'm trying to count stuff that's not Nintendo
and that's
properties
that's
that
the
were
thing.
also awesome. Cybernator, definitely.
Neo
Yeah,
Geo could talk a lot of shit because it had the power, it had the system, and it had some good games. I know it had fucking some good games and some fucking sweet looking games and that kind of shit. But Nintendo just fucking outshined everything else easily. Fucking really blew Genesis away as far as quality games, and that was really
and better
because of
sound,
Square.
although sound is just presentation, but man, they had
Square
some
and
great music.
Konami really fucking, and Square and
Yeah.
Konami could have made games for the Genesis, but they would have had to make them differently, and I think it was just easier to make them on the Genesis
I'm trying to think
or
of what, yeah,
the Super
Konami. What
Nintendo.
were some of the other Konami games that were on the Super Nintendo?
I was gonna say Demon's Crest is a Capcom game, of course, but I mean also had Street
Okay.
Fighter.
Mega Man X.
Yeah,
That's
the Mega Man and Mega
I
Man
don't even
7.
really like Mega Man X that much, but that was kind of a game changer.
Yeah, that was a pretty important game. Yeah, there's all sorts of shit, but anyways, yeah, it's just I guess you saved this ad because it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's fucking.
But it's worth
like
pointing out,
you're a-
Neo
you're a
Geo
hot dog,
talks all
you're a hot
this
dog.
shit, but they could actually put it up, whereas a lot of people talk shit like this and cannot. They don't have the quality, they don't have anything good with them. One thing that bothers me about the hot dog in this, though, is does it have tomato slices in it?
It's
Kind of
so
weird.
fancy.
It's a little too much, but you know me. I don't like to complain. Here's another one. No items, Fox only, and what? Final Destination. No aggro crag. And they're fucking
The big
because
meme was fucking is always Final Destination, which is just a flat plane.
yeah, it's a meme about Smash Brothers where somebody doesn't like all the variety when you do all the variety in Smash Brothers. They're like, only
Oh, you know what?
only plays this. You can only play this way.
Castlevania 4. Castlevania 4 was not a Nintendo property.
What was Aggro Crag was from that Nickelodeon game show, but what was it called? Legends of the Temple or fucking
Was
Secrets?
it?
Something like that. Yeah, but that's what Aggro Crag
Or
is.
Guts?
Um,
It was that show where they have kids climbing on a
yeah,
wall,
yeah. If they were climbing up like a fucking foam mountain, and it
risking huge injuries.
yeah, and it just looked fun. Here's one that's Kirby getting pissed off playing the Wii with a
Oh, well,
nunchuck.
he playing a Kirby game.
Probably a Kirby. Well, did they even have a Kirby game for the Wii? I don't, probably, but I mean,
I think they had like the epic yarn adventure,
oh
or
yeah,
whatever,
that's right. Here's
which,
this.
which yeah, I don't care.
Here's candle sniffing fuck fence go climb a wall of dicks, which is fucking again. That's the one that became a huge meme just because it's an
Classic.
example of lol random that actually works. Um,
Very effective, but yeah, that's also it doesn't even fit the fucking word bubbles. It doesn't
yeah,
have to.
yeah, that doesn't matter. Anyways,
It's just like, what the fuck are these words even?
the next one is another great one. Friend's House. Man, this
This
game is
one's
great.
universal though.
Yeah, you'll love it. Here's your controller, and it's Mad Catz because getting a second controller was so ridiculous. Like, I remember the Super Nintendo controller was fucking $30 for another. It was cheaper to literally open up your Super Nintendo. We used a fucking butter knife to unscrew the Super Nintendo screws to open it up because usually the biggest flaw with the Super Nintendo controller is the wire would actually come unplugged from the inside of the controller. And the only way to plug it back in would be to screw, and you needed a jewelry screwdriver to get the screws out, but we would try it with a fucking butter knife or whatever we had. And so there were these big gouges around the holes of
Yeah,
the
all
screws.
scratched up. I know that the fucking from prying it open, I remember scratching the shit out of like one of the areas near a shoulder button. So it was
Yeah.
like jagged plastic.
We destroyed those fucking controllers, but yeah, that came
While we
from
played
like
the shit out
tugging
of
on
them
them too
too.
much too, of
So
course.
your alternative was this other off-brand called Mad
Yeah,
Cat.
Mad Cats, which were the shittiest. They just had no clue how to really design. They were knockoffs, but they weren't even fucking arranged properly. And it's like, if you just made it so it looked close. I think they may have had like trademark problems though, where it couldn't look close enough. Like it had to look distinct, and they may have gotten
Even
sued or
then,
something.
yeah.
So it had
Even
to
on
look
top of
different.
that, though, it was like,
The
okay, this
layouts
is
were just fucking dog shit though.
especially later on in with Mad Cats, they started adding LEDs to the inside, but they were like super.
Glaring.
They were glaring bright in your face,
Yeah. Right into your
agonizing.
fucking eyeball. It was one of the most annoying fucking things. Um, anyways, the next one though, game saved, and it's just with all like bullets, grenades, rockets, an anvil, that kind of shit.
Everything headed toward anyone who has played video games for even a little bit of time is probably familiar with this.
Well,
The
especially in the
ability to
old
quick
days.
save anywhere.
When you could, well, yeah, when you can quick save and you accidentally quick save. I remember doing that, and I think my veteran playthrough of the first Call of Duty back when that first came out, I fucking played on the hardest difficulty after beating it like once or twice, and I remember quick saving right before a bullet, and I remember quick loading and just trying to duck, dodge, weave anything I could, and I kept getting killed over and over, and I think I eventually ducked out of it and had to get out of the way in some new way and resave with like 0 health left and that kind of shit. Um, and those were the days before achievements.
And also check like frequent checkpoints. Like, game development companies still need to kind of learn that, but they've done better with learning how
Yeah,
to
lately
check.
they usually don't checkpoint you when you're in danger anymore. The Dark Souls games actually don't technically matter. They can checkpoint you anywhere because it's not checking your fucking health or anything. It's checking your progress and the items that you own, and it keeps that always, which is good because it's kind of what you want. The next one is really good because it's making fun of game facts, where it's like,
This is one of the things I posted about today.
yeah,
Actually,
just today you were looking for this. Also, the face that's in the Mad Catz one. Hold on a second. It's the eyes rolled back grin face. It's in
no,
this Mad Catz one.
It's the D smiley emoji.
It was an emoji that was sort of from before emojis though. But the
Yeah,
fucking yeah, this face that became a meme for some reason, and it's
it's
so
like
you'll see it in a lot of these comics. But yeah, this
it is
one,
a really good example of like a simple face instantly communicating a
yes.
direct,
It's like,
unexpected emotion.
well, or it's like the irony face, or it's like the gee, I wonder what Ganon's up to face. It's just like it could communicate. It's like forget about it, where it could communicate all sorts of things simultaneously. It depends on it's contextual, you see. But
And the fucking face in the last part, the guy holding the Mad Cats, he could be yelling or he could just have super unhappy face. I always assume he's just yelling at the controller because it's such
yeah,
a
it kind
fucking
of looks
ugly
like
piece
an
of shit.
open mouth yelling, or it looks like just a really hard frown. But yeah, that's true. Anyways, yeah, this other one, gee, Masked Man boss is hard. I'll look at the strategy using this fact from the internet's boss, Masked Man. And this is just straight up smashing fucking game facts, basically. Masked Man is a boss at the end of Ass Lab, who is later revealed to be the main character's father. Strategy, blah blah blah, and it's just angry, giant angry red panel with face, which is a
About
nice
to say
fucking
F. He's like fucking. It's like fucking drawing out the letter F.
yes. Yeah, you could tell the sound that his mouth is making is F. And again, this shows there doesn't need to be a background. There doesn't even need to be a visible face. It's literally just an expression drawn over a fucking red.
Yeah, just a
Just,
red panel. Just
just
the
a red
entire panel is
square.
red. The eyes are red, and there's eye veins.
Yes, that's
They're
all
very
you need
simple.
is the facial expression, and it works. It's fucking
It's
another
better
example
than
of how it
anything
works.
Marvel has done in the last 40 years.
Gay Marvel. Anyways, well, we'll continue this again next week because these are good for easy, free content. Ah, wonderful, so wonderful. Anyway, so yeah,
What an easy job. This is the best job ever.
yeah, wonderful. If you want some more, some of the bigger content, the fucking longer videos, deep dives, in-depth shit, or to just support us in general, check out our subscribe star linked in the card below. Check out some of our other stuff. We'll probably link that below too. And should have listened to Shitty Webcomics.